Okay, let's thank today's sponsors. Eagle Energy is a plant-based caffeine inhaler. For those of you that are looking for an alternative to, 4 coffees a day, high sugar, high caffeine, I think Eagle Energy is the product for you. It is a plant-based inhaler that has 0 calories, 0 sugar, and it works within 3 to 5 minutes. Rather than these high sugary energy drinks that could take up to 30 to 45 minutes to kick in. Remember, Eagle Energy, no calories, no sugar. It is a plant-based product. So when you're talking to your friends at the dinner table, you can say that it's plant-based so you can sound good about yourself or feel good about yourself. You can take it anywhere you go. Classroom, to work, maybe to hockey, to any sporting event that you go to. It just gives you that little pickup. It gives you that little boost that you need throughout the day to make sure that you stay focused on your tasks at hand. And let's be honest, people, everyone needs a little bit of energy in today's world. Everyone's running around left, right, and center trying to get everything done. Eagle Energy is what allows me to stay focused, and it makes sure that I finish all my tasks at hand. I want this product to be in your hand. Make sure to head over to eagle.energy and pick up your Eagle Energy today. All right, Jules, we are going here. Welcome to the High Button, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Pleasure being asked to come here.
It was awesome meeting you the other day at the Barho charity game. It was cool to run into you.
Yeah, no, it was quite an event, and I'm blessed and kind of thankful that I was invited to come play. Like, it was such an event, and I got to meet Jules-Edy. So.
Yeah, you've never met Jill before?
No, and I mean, I'm a big fan of women's hockey since I played with Charlene Labonte back in Bathurst. So I've been watching ever since because, I mean, she made the team and she's played ever since. I'm always one watching. So to see her, Jill, the speed that she has, I had speed like that, but no hands like that. Man, she gets some hands too. So
I agree. Like, watching her on TV compared to playing with her in real life, I say that all the time about, like, when I play with great players just for pickup or something. It's amazing the speed when you're up close and personal with it. It's crazy. The attention to detail. You don't see that on TV compared to, like, in real life. But anyways, how you feel about Jill is how I felt about you meeting you, because I knew you were here. I've met you a couple times in and around the community when you were doing police work, but I never met you in a hockey setting. So it was good to meet you there and get some cool stories out of you in the dressing room.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's part of it about hockey. What it does to you is giving so many memories, so many things that you've gone through when you play hockey and people you meet. And you don't realize, when you just said, you don't realize, even Jill saying, "Oh, I was a big fan of yours growing up," and I'm thinking, like, why? Like, you Jules-Edy, well, I'm the fan. Like, I'm not. To hear that, it means that maybe back in the day when I played, I made a little bit of difference to some people.
Well, that's a big part I want to make about this podcast. Like, you might not even know it, but when I posted a picture of you on our Instagram page yesterday saying that you were come on, we probably got 20 messages saying, "No way. How did you get him? He's actually coming on." Because you don't understand. Back when you played in the day, when you were the captain for the Halifax Mooseheads, I was 10, maybe 11 years old. And in Halifax, you don't go watch the NHL. All you do is go watch the Mooseheads. So when I'm thinking of the Mooseheads, I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of Brandon Reed, Jason King, Brandon Benedict. And at the time, you guys were our Sidney Crosbys, were our all-stars. So that's why you kind of have a memory in a lot of people's heads, especially my age, 27, 30s. Because back then, you were as big as it got for us. So as much as you might not think about it, like, you definitely still have some relevance here in the hockey community in Halifax. 100%,
cool.
man.
That's really cool to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you grew up in Laval, eh?
Yeah.
What was it like growing up there?
Well, I mean, it's like I kind of grew up in different area closer to Montreal. The first part where we grew up was Sorel, Tracy, like that area.
Okay.
There's a senior team there now in the North American Hockey League.
AHL?
Yeah. The North American Hockey League, the big fighting league, like
I know
the senior Quebec League,
yeah.
So there's a team there now. So I grew up there, and it was tough there because we were the only black family in that town.
Really?
So my brother, I mean, you saw his size. He was always stronger than everybody, and we were really gifted athletically. So my sister was in track, and I was in hockey. So it was tough to live there and to play hockey and stuff like that. And then we moved to Longueuil, to Anjou, to Montreal, to Laval, and then kind of finished up in Laval.
Did your dad play hockey?
No, nothing to do with hockey. He doesn't know how to skate.
Really? So how did you get introduced to the sport of hockey?
Well, he introduced us to every sport. He put us in track, in long distance skiing, and speed skating.
Even your brother?
Yeah. Even figure skating. First thing I ever done on skate was figure skating.
No.
which was kind of boring for me. Because, I mean, you turn around, you skate around. I did one show and I was doing faces at the crowd. People were laughing. I wasn't into it. And then he put me in speed skating, and I was beating kids with hockey skate while they had the figure skating skates. And I was getting bored too, so I started kicking cones, getting disqualified. It was boring. Turning in circles. I didn't understand the goal of skating around in circles. I should have maybe kept to it. I mean, it would have been good, but I think that's what made my skating so good.
Yeah.
It's because of that. It's because of figure skating, speed skating. So then hockey was just fun. So it's always been fun.
It came natural to you.
Yeah.
Same with your brother, though? Did your brother go in the exact same sports?
Yeah.
Like you guys went together?
He did the same thing. He did track. He did all those things. But in hockey, growing up, he was always the best, but he never cracked the teams.
Why not?
I'm not sure. I mean, my dad will say it's racism and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. They never made the team. Like, he would be the leading scorer of every team he's played for, minor hockey, and wouldn't make the top team until he got to Anjou. So when we moved to Anjou, that's when he made the double C team, Bantam double C, his first year Bantam, and he didn't. He wasn't there in time to make double A.
Yeah.
So the double A ended up seeing him playing, like, we need to take this guy in our team. So they took him, and that's when he got drafted to the Q.
That's cool. How much older is your brother than you?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, growing up in a household with an older brother, there's always, every time I interview people that have a brother and they always end up playing hockey together or against each other, there was almost like a loving rivalry inside the house, even if it meant competing in the gym, competing like who can eat dinner first, whoever can do the most push-ups. Did you and your brother ever do anything like that?
So, well, every summer we worked out together. So the cool part of having a brother that played in the NHL is you get to do everything they do in the summer. And I mean, I was 4 years younger, so when he was 20 to whenever he played, I was always 4 years behind him. But the training, I had to get the same training that he would do. So one of the things that people don't get is that my brother's got that. We talked about it in the hockey room. His legs are so strong. He could leg press all the plates on the machine plus the trainer on the top like it was nothing. And I would go on and I'd do what's good for me. I mean, I was strong legs too, but not like him, obviously. But on the bench, I used to bench more than he would. And he'd get mad at that. Well, it's easy for you because you get shorter arms. I can't help that. Give me that. Give me one thing that I could be better at you at, and I'll be happy. And the other thing that he used to get mad at, we used to do track race. So the whole group of players, a bunch of other NHL players from Quebec, we would go and do 800 meters twice. Take a break, and then another 400 meters, take a break. Now, he would beat everybody on those two races like nothing. Then he gets to 100 meters, and I would beat him. Yeah. And he would get mad. You're pacing yourself. This is not right. And, you're pacing yourself. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm pushing myself. Like, I would finish second in the 400 meter, and it didn't matter to him. It's like, oh, you're pacing yourself. I said, let's do some sprints then. Let's just do some sprints. And he would hate that fact. Or even skating on the ice, it's faster than him. Well, you're just pacing yourself. No, I'm not. Like, I'm just faster than you. So those are the things. We never got a chance to play against each other growing up. Again, 4 years apart. For me to play against him or with him in the queue, I would have to play at a 16-year-old, and he would have to stay at a 20-year-old, which didn't happen, right? So not even close. But other than that, I mean, we played together ball hockey. In leagues, we played 2 hockey games together. The last one was the hockey for homeless that he came here for.
Okay.
Cyril from CTV was there. Yeah. I actually played one game because Cyril couldn't be there. And then the first time was he organized a team. It was Team Haiti against Team Lebanon in Montreal. Yeah, it was a sanctioned IIHF game.
It was in Montreal?
In Montreal, yeah.
Okay.
And it was in 2016 or 17, I think. It was last year, I think.
2018?
Yeah, no,
or 2017.
17,
okay,
yeah.
17, okay.
And it was contact. Yeah.
Wow.
It was bad.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit heavier than I was when I played.
Yeah.
So I'm probably around 250 now. So playing contact at 250, it's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just people bounce off me. It was just fun to play in. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your first year going into the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. I look at the Quebec Major Hockey League now and I go, wow, what a league. It's well established, but that's now in 2019. Back when you played, there must have been some rough patches in the league that maybe obviously it's not established as it was today. Do you remember back in your first year in the league and, going through some experiences first year junior? Everyone has stories about your first year junior.
Well, me, it was the bus drive, because I played in the Rwanda. So you're talking about the extreme left of Quebec, like left side of Quebec. So you get a bus everywhere. The only close team is Val d'Or. Then after that, it's at least 6 hours, because Laval was in the league when I played my first year. So that was the closest rink. After that, everything's by bus. So it's a long time. You got to go. I remember my first bus ride was to Halifax.
No way.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I don't know what Halifax is. I have no idea. Quebec, growing up in Quebec, we don't really study other provinces, so I don't know any better, right? So we went around, I was starting in Quebec, I had practice there. I was told I wasn't playing the first game. My dad was supposed to be there to see me play, and then we went to, I think it was Moncton first, and then we played in Cape Breton, and my second shift I got hurt. Shoulder hurt. My shoulder. I couldn't play anymore.
No. How long were you out for?
For like 2 or 3 weeks. And talk about stupid things you do in junior when you don't think. The next road trip, I stayed obviously home, and the owner asked me to look after his son while he was away. And
you're the babysitter.
Yeah, babysitter, and I didn't do that right, so I almost got kicked out of the team for being stupid. So when you're young, right, you don't think what you're doing. And
you're 16 at the time?
17, yeah.
17
yeah,
still.
So yeah, it was bad. We went skiing, which probably shouldn't do while I'm injured, and I've never skied before, and it was just bad. So those almost made me get sent back down to junior A. So thank God the other owner really liked me, gave me another chance. Like, look, stop messing around. Think about hockey, and hockey could open doors for you. And it woke me up. And I think there was a coach change too in the whole thing. Gaston Terrien was our coach, and we had ended up getting I think Bordelot was his last name. He came to coach, and he was a lot different than Gaston Terrien was.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Cool. What was your first thought playing hockey outside of Quebec in Nova Scotia or in Nova Scotia? Did you have like maybe an opinion on the crowd or the reffing or anything like that?
Well, I guess, again, leaving from Rwanda, I got traded to Bathurst.
Yeah.
That's another place never heard of. And I took the train to go to Bathurst, and I'm like, what is this town? Like,
by yourself?
Yeah, by myself. Didn't know anything about Bathurst. Got there off the train. I'm looking around. I'm like, there's nothing here. There's not much there. I guess it's close to Moncton. I don't know. But the crowd, man, like, it was crazy.
In Bathurst?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Halifax was, to me, when I first came into Halifax, the first year, like I said, we drove the bus in underneath the rink. I was amazed by that. I couldn't believe it. Like, this is like a pro team. Like, this is nothing I've ever seen. Like, it's cool. Like, you go in and the whole underneath the seating area, and when people work out and they do the warm up, we run around. I was like, wow, this rink is amazing. I'd love to play here. It ended up happening. So, the crowds in Nova Scotia in the Maritimes, in some sense, they're good fans. Like, they're supportive fans. But the fans in Quebec, they're supportive and also sometimes crazy. So that's just, they love their team, and they'll say anything they can to get in your mind when you're playing against them. So I think that would be kind of the difference.
That's interesting. Because I've had friends today that still play in Quebec, and they say the exact same thing. It's like nothing's changed up there. That's cool.
No,
not cool, but just like interesting.
But some of those rinks are completely crazy. The people will say anything, whether it's racist comment to the worst thing you could say to you just to try to get you off your game, which, there's no place for that in hockey, because racist comment is stupid. Like, you can't, like, what can you say to that? It's
still happening today. It just happened. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
So when you were playing, did it happen a lot to you?
Oh, geez, yeah. But right there, Val d'Or. There was a guy next to the bench in his Val d'Or jersey. He called me the N-word every time I came off the bench. And I'd be looking at my coach and like, no, just don't worry about him. Just play your game. And I just want to take my stick and just hit him with him. But obviously you can't do that. And if you're told a lot of times, like, it's just weird, don't worry about it. I mean, it affects you. It affects you because you can't do anything about it. And then if it happened on the ice, a couple guys have said it to me, and I'll never forget those guys, right? So those are things that, and then again, I wasn't like my brother. I was 5'7". I wasn't much of a fighter. I fought 4 times in 4 years.
Yeah.
So take matter in my own hands. I'd have to go and fight. There's one guy I fought, but there's another guy I didn't because he could fight. So I'm like, I'm not. You call me that, plus I'm gonna go fight and get beat up. I don't think so. I'm not getting double satisfaction.
Yeah.
So I just it sucks because you can't. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
And I don't think when players or people say that, I don't think they get it what it does to the player. It affects you in ways that you can't control. Like you can't say anything. You can't go after the person because at the end of the day, there's nothing that protects you from it. It's gonna happen. Yeah, the people could get expulsed, kicked out of the ring forever.
Yeah.
But it's still happening. So
Yeah. Did you ever, whenever like you were going through tough times with that, did you ever like talk to your brother about it? Because I'm sure he had to go through it as well, and maybe he had a different solution on how to deal with it. I know you're saying there's not many solutions to dealing with it, but it must be nice knowing that like your brother might be dealing with the same thing and he's going through it too. Did you ever talk to him about it?
Well, I always remember the game that I saw him play, and when he was playing for back in the day, there was a team called Saint Hyacinthe Lasers.
Yeah.
He moved to Rwanda, and I went to the game, and it was his home team. And there was a guy in the stand calling the N-word, and I went to the guy, and I started yelling at the guy, "Stop!" And he was looking at me, "What? Stop saying that! Like, whoa, leave all your business." I'm like, "It's my brother." Like,
Yeah.
a couple of things in French.
Yeah.
And but it's just he went to it even worse. Like, people throwing bananas at him. Like, it was just he got in the AHL from players. He tried to fight them, tried to kick their ass. Like, he just at least, but it's for him it was motivation. Same with me, it was motivation. So, okay, you're going to call me that?
Watch this.
I'll try to do something.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit somebody. I'm going to not score goals. I mean, that's not something I did a lot. But sometimes if I could, I was happy when I did it. But, it's one of those things. You just got to push past it. Right?
Yeah.
Like you can't. If you get hung up on that and decide, like, oh, this is not for me, this is too hard, then you're going to have a hard time in life.
Yeah, that's fair. I want to talk about the trade going into Halifax. You said that the first time you were ever there, you took the bus underneath the stadium. You were pumped. It looked like a pro team. Because where did you go after Rouen?
So I went to Bathurst
Bathurst,
and then we won that year. We went to Merle Cup in Ottawa.
Yeah,
that's when I played with Ramsey Bid the first time.
Yeah,
Ren Flynn.
Yeah,
and then Luongo was our goalie, which was.
What was Luongo like as a teammate?
He was quiet.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Well, he's a goalie.
Thing. Yeah, like most goalies, he did his own thing. I don't remember. He had just giant feet.
He had giant
what?
Feet. Giant feet.
His feet were big and his hands were massive. Like it was weird to look at, but he was good. Like I was probably the only goaltender I never scored on practice. I couldn't. It's like I don't know if he did it on purpose just because it was me. I couldn't score on him. I've never scored on him on the ice. I never scored on him in practice.
You know what's frustrating when there's a player or even a goalie that's amazing in practice but sucks in the game? The practice player. I hate that. Yeah. But obviously he went to the NHL, so he's fantastic.
No, he was amazing. He was quite a player. And after that year, I went back to Bathurst, and I went to see the owner, Leo Morissette, and I said, "Listen, man, like I gave you all I had last year." Excuse me. And we went to Ottawa and everything. I gave everything all I had there. Can you give me a chance to let me play for Halifax? And, give me another chance to go to the World Cup. I'd like for me and my brother to have our names on it. Because my brother wanted with Granby back in 95. So I'm like, can you give me that chance? He goes, I'll see what I can do for you, Jules. And he did trade me there. But at the same time, he said to the media in Bathurst that I didn't want to play there anymore and that I hated the town. And I don't know why he said that. That was so unfair because I loved Bathurst. Bathurst was why I made my name basically as a player and fan favorite because of the Eddie chant. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I got traded to Halifax. So back with Ramsey again.
Oh, Ramsey came with you on that trade?
Ramsey was already there.
Oh, was he? Yeah. Okay. So talk about the excitement getting traded to Halifax. Did you find out in the summertime that you got traded?
No, it was throughout the year. Like
throughout the year, it was in January the first year. Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about the excitement, like the billets, like the drive into Halifax, everything.
So when I got traded, I always remember I used to have I used to drive a 1990 GMC Tracker.
I don't know.
I was right. It's a little tiny car, box car. The only one I believe that had the AC button. then when you pressed it, you could see the gas light just go down, like the gas gauge just go down, but it would work. But anyways, I drive. I'm getting traded. I flew to Baie-Comeau. I had two numbers to pick from, 44, 41. And because I had 14's been my number ever since growing up. So I took 41. I'm like, okay, well, it's the reverse version of 14, so whatever, I'll take that. And then after I was done, I forget how I got to Bathurst, but I ended up going to Bathurst, pick up my stuff, all my stuff. And the build I had in Bathurst, I was really close to. Gordy and Bev. Gordy has since passed. Bev has since passed away. God love her. And I went to stay with her son in Halifax.
Okay.
He actually lives just around the corner from here.
To this day?
Yeah. Well, no, he's passed away as well.
Oh, okay.
Sad, really. Rob passed away, but his wife Donna, they moved to Turks and Caicos. Her and her daughter.
Wow.
Jasmine. So I live with them just around the corner on Chelmsford Place.
Okay, so you used to drive here to the Metro Center.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a funny story about that too. So I used to I stayed with them. So when I drove from Bathurst to Halifax, I didn't really know how to get there. I mean, back then you use maps, like literally maps, not
like
phones.
You pull the map out.
Yeah. So when I drove, I was driving normal, and you know when you get to the tolls and on the highway,
Yeah, you gotta pay like $2.
yeah. So that's like a blizzard there. I don't know what it is. What's going on with the temperature there, but I started driving normal, and I was going fine. The gas was at halfway in the middle, and when I started going up a hill, it turned to whiteout. It was snow everywhere. And I was going up a hill, and my car wasn't rear-wheel drive, so I started spinning. And every time I passed the guy, I started spinning. And there was a stripper truck next to me. I started stressing. There was a line of cars behind me. I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna end up in a ditch or something. And then what? I have no cell phone. Like, there was no cell phones then, so I'd have to wait there to when. I don't know. So I finally was able to pass the truck, pulled over, put my 4x4 on, and I was able to make it to the gas station, put some gas on. It was scary. I didn't know any better. And then finally I got to my new billet and stayed there for the rest of the season. But I did have a ritual when I played. So I would drive, you know where the Irving is, down Bedford Highway?
Yeah, that was still there back then?
Yeah, it's still there, yeah. It was there. So I'd go down there. I'd buy a Snapple, cranberry raisin Snapple.
Yeah.
The old bottle, glass bottle.
I know.
I would drive down Bedford Highway all the way to Lady M and down Lady M on Barrington Street. If I didn't have to pick up Robbie Sutherland or not, then I would drive to the rink. But I would do it as fast as possible.
Why?
So, I don't know, it's just a ritual. I'd drive as fast as I could. I know it sounds bad saying this.
As you're a police officer now.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, to a certain extent. But I would go as fast as I could, and I would leave exactly at the same time, and I would park illegally every time and get a ticket every time.
Where would you park?
Just close to the Metro Center.
Did you have to pay the ticket, or did the Mooseheads pay the ticket?
No, I don't know what happened to them. They just disappeared. Because I had Quebec plates, so...
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I just didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't, back then, I don't think it was all linked together to different province. Because I was more welcome to pay for them when I changed my place to Nova Scotia. It just didn't happen. So
how did you know if you had to pick up Robbie Sutherland or not?
Oh, it was just something we talked about.
Where you talked about it at the pregame skate?
Yeah, pregame skate. But he ended up getting the car himself, so I didn't have to pick him up anymore.
That's hilarious.
Because he lived just around the corner too, just off of Bayview, I think.
That's on the way off the Bedford Highway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
My favorite player, 55. Who is that? In the Mooseheads, number 55.
Brendan Reed, yeah.
Yeah, that was my guy. When I went to the Quebec Pee Wee tournament, that's who I was number 55 for the Mooseheads. What was he like as a guy? I hope you don't say he's a shit guy, because he was my idol growing up. So I don't want you to be like, But he was that fast winger that went down the wing and scored. You gotta just, as a kid growing up, you gotta watch that and be like, that's my guy.
I have to say, game performance, game show, amazing.
Yeah.
Teammates,
no,
not so like. And I mean, we talk now. He's a great guy. We let things go. I mean, things in junior, right? Like he's set in his ways. Because at one point, me, him, and Ramsey Bid were in line.
Yeah.
And we racked up points like crazy. We had everything on that line.
I remember listening to the radio going to school once, and there was a song about you three. Some guy made a song in Newfoundland or something about you guys on a line, like a jingle.
Really?
And that, you don't remember that?
No.
It was going into playoffs. There was a song about you three going down on a 3-on-1 and scoring a goal. Some Newfoundlander just made a song.
I think I kind of vaguely remember
And
that.
I remember just like sitting there in the car while my mom, I think, was getting groceries. I was just sitting there with the heat on and listening to this guy from Newfoundland on his guitar just singing about you three. And it's like things like that when you're 10, 12 years old, you don't realize like, wow, these guys are like superstars. And back then,
Yeah, I think I
Brandon
remember that.
Reed, that was my guy.
Yeah, I think I remember. There was like several things about the game on that about this song. I think I remember vaguely. I wish somebody could to bring it up somehow, but I think I remember what you mean by that.
Yeah.
I think but I mean, playing with Ramsey, it's something else. Like
How so?
He's such a leader, and he scares the other team. Like he's a scary guy to play against. He's a beast. He's mean. He's mean with his stick, and he could play. He got good hands, get a good shot. So anybody that plays with him gets bigger, gets more room, because people are worried, what's Ramsey going to do? So I played with him on the same line in Bathurst. I was racking up the points. I come here, I play in the line with him, I was making points. But then I think my style was to take the puck up, and so was Brandon, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, me taking the puck up, it's fun. You could cheer, but nothing's going to happen. I'll maybe end up in the corner. I don't know. I have no shots. I might as well not shoot the puck. But I'll probably dump it in, try to hit somebody or something. But with him, at least there'll be a little bit more. So a couple times we had discussion about who would pick up the puck. And I'm like, look, Brandon, things are going well. Let's just keep going. And I think he went to the coach and said, I don't want to play with him anymore. So
Okay.
I went back. And I ended up playing with Robbie and Sutherland. That was awesome, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
another good leader as well.
Robbie Sutherland?
Yeah.
Yeah? It sounded like you guys had a bunch of great leaders. And then the year after, you ended up being the captain.
Yeah. And then that's the thing. I went to my first NHL camp. I went to Atlanta. I didn't want to go to Edmonton because my brother was there.
Why wouldn't you want to go to Edmonton? That would be cool.
Because I didn't want people to say, "Oh, you just say because of your brother."
That's fair. Okay, that's
I mean,
understandable.
Atlanta Trashers, the actual scouts talked to me in the playoffs the year before, and he was like, "Yeah, I like the way you play. Just what are you doing this summer?" So I'm gonna work out with my brother. And okay, good to know. We might send you an invite. So I was like, "Really? Yeah." So Atlanta, I'm like, the Trashers. What's that going to be like? So
What was it like?
Well, it was a rookie tournament. So we played teams like Nashville was there, Detroit, and I forget the other teams, but it was a rookie tournament. It was kind of unusual. Like I've never experienced that before. So we flew to Atlanta, got our gear and everything, got fitted and everything like that. And then we flew to Traverse City in Michigan.
I played against Detroit. Did you ever play against Sean Avery in that rookie tournament by any
Yes,
chance?
and we fought.
You fought Sean Avery?
It's online. It's embarrassing.
Okay, because Sean Avery was on Spit and Chicklets a while back, and he talks about this rookie tournament, saying that he tore it up. What did he do in that tournament that was just so wild?
Well, he was in everybody's. Like, I didn't know anything about Sean Avery before I got there, because in back in the day, social media wasn't as good as it is now. So we don't know about the other leagues. We don't know about the OHL, Western, other than what we hear on the TV or whatever, or when World Cup is coming up. So when the first game we played against Detroit, the warm-up, Sean Avery was just screaming at me, Laraque, me and you all night. And I'm like, huh? Who does that? Like, first of all, who does that? We chirp in junior in Quebec, but not like that. Like, who's this guy? And then some of the guys are like, yeah, don't worry about him. He's just an idiot. Like, Sean Avery, like, hey, he's armless, blah, blah. He's just going to run his mouth. So I'm like, okay. So then during the game, he fought a guy, didn't do so well in the fight, and I was like, okay, what's the big deal with this guy? He can't, like, he's running his mouth, he can't even fight. Like, I know fighters, I know fights, I know my brother's fights. Like, that's not a fighter. So then there was a shift where I ended up taking the face-off against him, and like, I'm facing on him, chasing him, looking him right in the eyes, and take the face-off, and I win the face-off. So I start chirping. I'm like, man, you suck. You can't even fight, and you can't even take face-off. I'm not even a sentiment. So we do our shift, whatever, and in the end of the shift, like, if you Google it, it's on YouTube. The fight's there if you want to look at it. It's kind of embarrassing.
If you keep talking, I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Just put Laraque versus Avery, you'll see it. So, so then at the end of the shift, he skated towards me. You'll see it. It's like, that should be see it? Right there.
This one?
That one, yeah. And for some reason, they gave you number 66. So if you see me there, I'm skating away.
Wait, are you black? Are you in the dark?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my gloves just comes off. Like, if you start from the beginning, you'll see what I mean. But the problem with this fight is that he jerseys me.
He's talking to the mic. Try to talk to the mic.
Yeah, so when he jerseys me there,
yeah,
there's nothing I can see, right? But he's not connecting with anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
You're not really connecting. I think the only one you connect is at the end when I'm on my back. But if you see I'm skinny to the bench.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm not ready. Like my guy's just coming off now. But again, it's part of the game, and he got under my skin, and then after that fight, he was gone from the game. So he was a pest, I have to admit. And then even after the game, he was still like chirping. Like,
What do you mean after the game? Like in the stands?
In the stands, walking around, like, oh yeah, he was like, I'll do to you what I did to Laraque. And I'm like, what did you do to me, man? Like, look at my face. You did nothing to me. And then that was at the end of it. But that's when I knew about him. I didn't know how bad of a pest he was until, I get to experience it. So that's cool things about hockey. You always, I don't know who filmed this, but PJ Stock is the person that uploaded on YouTube.
Yeah.
Kudos to him to find that fight. But then again, I had number 66. Not sure why they gave me that number. I never asked for it, so not like disrespect to Mario Lemieux. This is my favorite player. Like, to me, that's
Lemieux's your guy?
Yeah, it's better than Gretzky to me. But that's just another debate that we debate forever.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy that anyways, because that's a very relevant like podcast recently, and the fact that you were one of the guys to like fight with him in that rookie tournament, I don't know, I think that's cool. Like, that's
not really a fight, it's more of I get like jersey that's cool, basically like maybe look kind of bad, so for all you viewers when they have a look at it, it's on there. Yeah, Laraque versus Avery on YouTube, you'll see it.
Did you ever find that you had to almost change your style of game due to the fact of who your brother was?
No, and that's the thing. I just never understood, because I love to hit people.
Yeah.
There's nothing to me. That's the part about hockey I love the most is hitting. And I coach this year, my first year coaching Dartmouth High School hockey. Yeah, season and a half. Yeah. And the one thing I keep telling the guys is you got to hit. People don't like getting hit. It creates room for you. It hurts people. It makes people get rid of the puck quicker. There's nothing better than a good hit, and it gets your teammates going, gets everybody going. The crowd loves it. If it's a clean hit, not dirty hit, and I always teach them how to hit, and I tell them all the time that's the best part about hockey. So doing that, I did that for 4 years.
But kids don't like to do that anymore.
No, well, I don't know. I watch high school hockey compared to midget AAA hockey here, and midget AAA hockey there was basically no hitting. High school hockey, there's all kinds of hitting.
Why?
I don't know. I think they're more geared towards skills maybe in midget AAA.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's fair.
But to me if you introduce skills and contact hockey, your game's just going to be better, because you never know when you're going to play. And if wherever you play, if you have that part down packed about hitting, and I'm not talking just going blow people up. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like taking a hit, hitting at the right time, create distance from the person, even hitting people when you have the puck. Those things are things that you need to know that can improve your whole game overall. But if you're not the player that hits at all, like you will get might get pretty hit hard one of these and get hurt.
Well, I look at it as a way to differentiate yourself as a player. A lot of players today in the NHL, they're very skillful, very fast, very smart, and there's definitely different ways. I think there's more opportunities now to separate yourself from that. If you look at Reeves playing for Vegas, yeah, he's a fast guy, he's kind of skilled, but how does he differentiate himself? Through fighting and through hitting and through the physical aspect of that. And I think as a hockey player now, just even in Nova Scotia, you can be in Ontario, Quebec, wherever, it doesn't really matter. But if you can bring that style of game to your play, you'll get noticed by scouts. You'll be like, oh, who's that kid right there that's actually laying the body 2 times a shift? I think that's the way that scouts are going to look at it and be like, okay, this kid's different. That's the way I like to tell at least young kids that are still playing the game. You want to stand out. Even if you're not filling the net with 30 goals a game, stand out a different way. And that's an easy way to do it.
And you said it perfectly about Reeves. He's the new breed of tough guys. He could play, and he's physical. And I don't think guys like playing against him. They know he's on the ice. You could sense it.
I guarantee, I can bet money that I guarantee he is, your brother's a role model of his. Guaranteed.
Oh, I could be. And
no,
another
it's
guy.
Not could be, guaranteed.
Yeah. And then another guy too, Bufflin. You think a guy like Bufflin. He's a defenseman, so he doesn't, most of his hit is people coming at him with the puck. He doesn't forecheck, but imagine if he was a forward. Oh,
sometimes they'll put up on forward though. Yeah. Like he'll play wherever. He'll play goalie if they make him play.
But you just type in Bufflin hits on YouTube and you cringe like, oh my god, you wish you never had to play against a guy like that. And another guy that I think I played in the wrong era for myself to being a fan and to see role models, because if I would have played like now, my role model would have been Jordan Tutu and PK Subban. So PK Subban would have been my first real black hockey player. And I'm not talking, that looks like me. Like he's like I'm dark. So, Jeremy Gunler was good and everything, but he didn't really look like me. And then when I say that, I'm not trying to say, oh, you're just looking for. No, I'm not saying that. It's just that could have made me think maybe I should be a defenseman, because defenseman, you don't have to have as much hands as you would as a forward. I had the speed. I could skate really well backwards. Some of the games, my last year, my coach put me on defense, and there's nobody that could go by me. Because what I used to do is, if you come towards me, I switch to forward. So people were like, "What do you mean you switch to forward?" I would skate forward, and I let I let the forward go by me a little bit with the puck, and I'd be in forward mode, not skating backwards. And if they tried to go by me, I'd just skate fast and take the puck from them or hit them. So that was my way to play defense, and it was confusing the attacker. They didn't know what to do against me when I was playing defense. So that could have been an idea to do in my career, maybe play defense. But then also when I look at Jordan Tutu, I'm glad I never played against him, because I probably would have had to fight him, because we played the same style. He would hit people, I would hit people. But there's a time in your career in AHL, NHL, East Coast, when you hit like that, you get an answer to it. In the queue, for some reason, nobody came at me.
Why?
I don't know. I would lay people out, big hits after big hits, different games. Crowds would go nuts, and nobody would want to fight me. I literally, it's not that I say no. I never said no. I might have said no once in my first year, I think it was in the preseason game. After that, nobody never asked me to fight.
Do you think that has something to do with your brother, though?
Maybe. And maybe because I'm smaller, right? So then back in when I played, guys didn't want to... I don't think it was really popular for guys to fight smaller players. So we did have a big brawl, though, against Cape Breton.
Is it on YouTube?
Oh, yeah. So if you type in Halifax Mooseheads versus Cape Breton Screaming Eagle, there was a pre-game... you type the Mooseheads. Then put brawl, I guess. The first one. So
story time, let's go.
Yeah. So
you got to describe to the listeners what's going on.
This is another embarrassing moment in my
Is that
career.
you?
So I'm on the left there.
Okay.
My helmet's over my head there. There's that visor really high. It's still probably have the same visor that you saw there against that game. On the right is Hunter Laraque.
Okay.
And Nick Greeno is my teammate.
Okay.
So my ritual was I'm always the last guy off the ice.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. But for some reason, Nick was telling Hunter to get off the ice. And Hunter was like, no, you get off the ice. My ring, you get off the ice. So this back and forth. And he's looking at me, Jules, get off. I'm like, look, man, I'm not getting off till he gets off. So you have to talk to him. So that's how it starts. So as you can see, he's getting annoyed. The crowds are just yelling. They're yelling stuff at us. And it's kind of cool at first. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to hang out here. And in the background, I don't know if you see the guy kind of standing there.
This guy?
In the white
guy?
there. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's Ryan Flynn.
Okay.
So we were roommates in Bathurst. We played together in Halifax. We're still friends to this day. So right now, if you look at what the four people are there, it's not very fair. I mean, Hunter Laraque knows how to fight. He's crazy. He was a scary player.
Yeah.
And Nick Greeno could hold his own. Me, I don't think I'd fight either one of them. So then he finally had enough. So he's like, okay, now if you're not getting off the ice, I'm gonna take you off the ice. Now there's Ryan Flynn just showed up.
Oh, right there.
Yeah. So as you see, he made him flinch. He just pretended he's gonna punch him. So again, I'm just kind of hanging out. I don't know what's happening, and then when he see Ryan just wants to get on there, and I'm like, what is gonna happen?
Because you guys only have two guys right now. Where's everyone else is in the dressing room?
At the end of the warm up.
So everyone, your teammates are in the room.
Oh, yeah, and we're way down the hallway because Cape Breton, I think, did that on purpose. Our room was up the stairs in the back of the rink. So again, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I don't really care what's happening. I'm sure we'll leave the ice, and people are still yelling. And then he'll probably throw a punch, and then Nick goes down. So that's when I'm like, whoa. I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'm like, stop. I'm trying to stop the fight, and it's not working. Then I realized, okay, they're fighting. That's good. I stopped. Then I'm looking at Ryan. I'm trying to get in between to stop the fight. Then I see Ryan jump in, and they're just both pounding on him. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, man.
Trying to be a referee. I'm trying to stop the fight. I'm like trying to really stop the fight. Then Ryan just jumped back in again. And I'm like, screw it. I'm going to jump on Ryan. I'm trying to stop him to punch Nick. And believe it or not, the only person that punched me was Nick. I think he punched me by accident. For some reason, the referees are grabbing me. And it's not over, though, because we have Jonathan Boone, who knows that the fight's happening. He jumped on the ice.
How does he know the fight's happening? Did someone run back into the dressing room?
Yeah, somebody yelled something. So there's Jonathan Boone, jumped on the ice, and then that's George Davis. Like,
wow.
George Davis, too. Like, he can fight. So, oh, man, I feel bad for Jonathan Boone.
Oh, my God. This is insane. How have I never seen this before?
I know.
And this is all before the game started.
Before the game started. To this day, if I go to Cape Breton, because my wife's from there.
Yeah.
If I go to Cape Breton and I'll go watch a hockey game, people in the stands will come up to me and goes, oh, yeah, remember that day. I remember that day. And it's still something they're talking about down there. It's still to this day. No, that's my coach there, Sean McKinsey, just giving it to George Davis.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it was, and I guess suspended 7 games for that.
You didn't do anything. You're trying to break it up.
I know.
Oh, man. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Did you get to play that game, though?
No.
Oh, so you didn't even play?
So we were walking in the stands and people were yelling at us in the stands. Like, it was crazy. Now, finally, our team shows up. My coach over there, like Gary Zink. I don't think Gary Zink was playing that game. So the next game we played, it was in Halifax. And I knew I had to do something, so I ended up fighting JP Cote.
Wow. If that happened in today's game...
Well,
you wouldn't be playing. You'd be suspended 20 games or the whole season.
Probably 15. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's been stuff, and that was dirty.
Yeah.
It was just a big fight. Like, anyways, something I want to forget too. My 2 fights online are the worst things you could think of for hockey.
Well, everyone listening, just tell everyone listening that you've knocked some guys out before. Just let them know.
Well, I do have one good fight. If I can find it, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
When I played with the Halifax, with Bathurst, Ramsey used to bug me in the warm-up in the training camp. He used to say, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna fight, Jules? What are you gonna fight?" I was like, "What do you mean? Like, nobody wants to fight me. Yeah, whatever, man. You need to fight." So I fought a guy, and it was a pretty good fight. I was throwing left and right, and it was a really good fight. So if I could find it, I'll show it to you. But yeah, that's probably my only really good fight. But again, hitting, oh man, I'd love to hit.
Yeah. Awesome.
That was awesome.
Do you have any stories about road trips playing for the Mooseheads? Maybe some pulling into the rink late, something like that, jumping on the ice with like 20 minutes to go. I know in junior snow in the winter, it can backfire some games. So has anything happened?
Bathurst was... there's the northern New Brunswick is bad for snow, right?
Yeah.
So where I lived at the beach.
The beach of Bathurst?
Yeah, there's a nice beach in Bathurst.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ural Beach. So that's the street. Queen Elizabeth was a street that I lived on, and for some reason that never got plowed. So
Why
it just
not?
never got plowed. It's just the last street to get plowed. So I don't know if they didn't pay taxes back then. I have no idea. So there was one game where I had to leave my house, walk through snow to the main road. Like, it was probably about half a kilometer, and like the snow was to my waist.
Everyone has a story about their snow up to their waist.
Oh yeah, and weather was bad like that too. And the snow was
just no plows.
Well, they plowed everything in the middle, so there was mountains in the middle, like snowbanks.
Yeah.
So you'd have to like literally punch a hole in the wall of snow to go through. So I mean, those snow stories, it's kind of crazy like that. But most of the time, I was always trying to be on time because you didn't want to be late. If you were late, you didn't play, right?
Yeah.
You should have a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back then, did you get treated as well as players do get now? Like, did you get your skates paid for? Did you get food before the game? Did you get as many sticks as you wanted, like custom gear? Did you get stuff like that back then?
Well, back in the day when I played, we had wooden sticks.
So you might, okay.
So yeah, so people don't realize all those new sticks that you play with now, it's great. But back then you had wood sticks. You were given a pattern by the team. Then I get to Halifax and I finally got my own stick.
Okay, wait a second. Sorry. You were given a pattern by your team, meaning you didn't get to pick your curve?
Whatever curve was there available, you take that.
So you didn't get to pick a curve?
Not really, no. No, not if you were like a top end players, you would get your own stick. they would get easted with the blade.
Yeah.
So that's how they got their old stick.
Oh, like the ones that plugged in the bottom or something like that? Okay, I remember.
Yeah, that's what we used to get. And those particular players would get that. And no, I wouldn't stick till the end of it. But I had my own pattern with Sherwood.
Yeah.
And the stick was shorter than everybody else's. I had a big blade on there, and the curve was terrible, but I liked it.
Did you ever get food before the game? Did they have granola bars and bananas?
Yeah, they would always have pre-game meals other than the home games, obviously.
Yeah.
On the road, we were always taken care of that way. That was always been like that, yeah.
What about sticks? I mean, skates. Did you get skates for the season?
So every first of the season, you'd get a pair of skates, either with Bauer or CCM.
Did you get to pick?
Well, you'd have to pick who you want.
Okay.
For me, it was always Bauer's. And again, it was... I thought it was a better skate for me. And my brother used to tell me, CCM's for bigger guys, Bauer's for smaller guys. And I actually tried... 1 year in Bathurst, I wanted to try the white skates, and CCM had white skate. It looked good, but God...
Well, didn't Lemieux wear white skates?
Something, I think so, yeah.
Was that an influence on you?
Well, maybe. I just thought it was cool looking, and I'm like, I got to get some white skates. So it looked good. I could see myself, I could watch the video afterwards, and it looked like I skate faster, but man, that was uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah. It was really uncomfortable. It felt like a ski boot. And if you'd see the way I tie my skates, so the last two holes of the laces are gone. There's no laces in
like
that.
The top two, sorry?
The top two are gone. And I only tie up straight, like hard, the first two.
Sorry, so the last two you tie really tight?
Yeah, like the one you tie up.
Okay, yeah.
Those are the only two that I want to tie. Everything else is loose.
Why? You got big feet?
It's that, and they're wide, and also I find it gives me more motion for the skate.
But your ankle's secure.
My ankles, well, my skate is secure on my foot, but my ankle is loose. So when you skate, a lot of kids, I find maybe it's the parents, they'll realize, is when you push with your skate, that last little push that you do is what pushes you a little bit further. And that's where you learn it in speed skating. If you look at speed skaters, the way they have their skate, they're like almost like running shoes. And the blade.
Yeah.
They don't go all the way up the ankle because they really want that last push. There's like it's like almost like a duck walk, but at the end of the duck walk, there's an extra push
I see what you're saying.
So that's how I get that last stride to push a little further.
Did you do this back when you said you did speed skate? Did you tie your skates the same way?
I actually, it's kind of funny because Mike Ribeiro wasn't a fast skater, but he never tied his skates tight at all. The whole skate, and he used to do it that way. He liked it for style. The laces would be dangling. He loved it that way.
Yeah.
But again, it's Mike Ribeiro. He had so much hands that he didn't need to skate. He could have skated backwards. He would have deked you anyways. He was amazing with the puck. But I kind of noticed what he did, and I started going, maybe I should try to change, maybe to help my skating a little bit. And I did that, and they helped.
Did you ever get any gear from your brother? Did you ever ask him for stuff? He must have given you stuff over the years. Oh,
geez, yeah. Hockey bags, sticks,
anything.
From players, anything. I ended up also, too, going up and seeing him while I was playing.
In Edmonton or Montreal?
In Edmonton.
Yeah.
And I was able to skate with the players.
No.
Optional skates, yeah.
What was that like? That must have been the coolest experience ever.
I would take Todd Marchand's gear, put that on, and skate with the guys. There was one practice I'll always remember. So... there was one practice where I did the optional skate with them, and we did a drill. It was 2-on-0, and if you did score, we had to skate around everybody. So 2 chances to score, and of course, you couldn't ask for a worse pairing. Me and my brother. I have no hands. He has a better hands than me, but whatever. And we not only didn't score, but we ran into each other at beyond the net.
Yeah,
it was like running to a wall. It hurt. So anyways, we had to skate. So the camera crew for recording the practice was there, and they were recording. And by the view of the camera crew, it looked like I was skating by my brother like he was standing still. Yeah. So I looked super fast.
Yeah.
And they were saying on the news that, George Laraque's brother is skating with the team and blah, blah, blah. So we went out to Cowboys. Cowboys is a really popular bar in Edmonton.
Okay.
It's like a country bar.
Yeah.
All the girls are the the owners show up, the girls go crazy.
Why go crazy for George?
Yeah, well, George and
He's
whoever else
there.
was, but he was the man there. He was. And back then, I was 18 or 19 or whatever, and it was like, oh man, I'm just with him. This is great.
Awesome.
So one girl's like, hey man, I saw you on the news. So when are you gonna play for the Oilers? I was like,
next year, I'll be there. Next year, I'll be there.
Love me soon. So it was pretty cool to do that with him. But and I ended up doing it again in Florida. I was able to skate with them in Florida, and it was McTavish was there, and we did a 3-on-3 game. Me, my brother, and another player against McTavish, and 2 other guys. I think it was Charlie Huddy.
Charlie Huddy.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video on YouTube of Charlie Huddy? Just all of the compilations of him messing up. It's called Charlie Huddy Sucks. Nothing against Charlie Huddy. I'm sure he's a great guy and he won a lot of Cubs, but it's the funniest video.
I'll have to check that out, yeah.
Just type in Charlie Huddy Sucks. It's one of the funniest videos ever.
Yeah, I definitely will. But yeah, it's kind of cool to do that and get to see a lot of back stuff. I was able to go also with a charter with the team because some players were like, well, like, why does he get to come with us? But my brother was so scary that he wouldn't. Like they would challenge that because it's George. George was a good teammate. He was also scary. I think he would scare people because
like even the management on the team.
Well, not the management. I just didn't care because like I was like how some people are fanatics, right?
Yeah.
Like you met me professional. That's great. I met Jill. I'm not like, hey Jill,
yeah.
Gonna get another go. Like some family members could be a little bit like that. I was more like quiet. Like just sit there. Somebody talked to me, I talked to them. Didn't bother anybody.
You didn't fan out.
No, didn't fan out. During games, if I went to see my brother, I could stay in the changing area. If they have a lounge, like while they're playing, so I could watch the game on the TV.
No way.
And I could hear the speeches, the talk during the game, like little things like that. Like that's quite amazing to be part of. Like there's things that I did back behind the scenes that nobody have that chance to do, and it's quite a show to do.
Did you ever get to do anything like that in Montreal?
The only game I went to see him is the game you had released.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
so
interesting.
They let him go. They bought his contract out, and that was it. So I've never been a fan of Montreal anyways. I was always a Nordique fan.
Yeah.
But that kind of sucked for me because, I mean, I would love to see him play in Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about in Pittsburgh? Because he got to play with Crosby a little bit. Did you ever get to meet Crosby?
I went to see him there, and it was kind of cool because he said, oh, yeah, I remember seeing you play when you played with the Mooseheads. I'm like, what?
Sid said that?
Yeah, so because his cousin is Robbie Sutherland.
Yes.
And I remember, actually, I went to see him play at the Sportsplex. And I used to see this kid on the ice just do whatever he wants. I'm like, man, that kid is good. Like, he used to skate around everybody. And I was like, wow. And we went in the room and we met some of the kids. And I shook his hand then, not thinking this is Sidney Crosby that's going to be the best player in the world.
He's just a kid.
It's just a kid that does amazing on the ice. So to see him say that. And then I saw Marc-André Fleury. He was playing for Cape Breton that year.
Yeah.
You saw that brawl.
He was on the team that year?
He was on the year of that team. And he remembered that I scored on him.
No.
He said, oh, you bring your skates? I'm like, no. So it'd be nice to try to stop you again since you scored on me. I'm like, how do you remember that? Like, all the people you face, you remember the one time I scored against you. And I mean, I remember the goal because I don't score many. I went around a D and just shoveled it in. I don't know where it went in.
And he remembered that?
Yeah, well, I remember just going like this and it went in. But I mean, that's some of the goals I do remember doing, but that's one of them because it was Fleury. So it kind of stuck in my mind because he's from Sorel and I'm from Tracy. So I always knew about him. Like I always want to keep my mind about him. So it was kind of cool to meet him. And I got my pair skate that I got now. I got that pair skate then. Adam All was a player at Pittsburgh and he didn't want those skates for some reason. Something was wrong with them.
He just gave them to
so like, hey, what size you wear? Trainer said to me, I was like, 10 and a half. Well, you want to try them on? See if you want them? Okay. Tried them on. They fit. I'm like, so you can have them. I'm like, what? Seriously? Yeah. Thanks. Just like that. NHL skate. There you go.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's cool part. Like, I was given a lot of sticks. Malkin stick. I mean, those sticks I played with, they're broken now. But, I mean, it's cool. Like, all the left-handed sticks I could get, I got them. So, I can't complain. I had premium experience when it comes to NHL. Like I lived that life through my brother. It was great.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It seems like you're really thankful for that.
Oh, yeah,
a lot of people might take that for granted, but it seems like you really cherished all those moments and they stuck with you.
And that's the thing. When I met Jill's grandparents, I was talking to her grandmother, and I was like, she must be so proud. It must be so fun for you to just experience that. And that's the part of being a parent. And I would say that to any parent: enjoy your kids' activities. Their sports, what they do, because you're not going to get a chance to do it later. I mean, when my daughter turns 20 or my daughter's turned 20, I'm not going to go sit there beer league soccer games or whatever. I want to see them now go into the sport. But be a fan. Don't be a coach or from the stands or be a critic of your kid. Just be supportive. That's what I would say. Because for some reason, kids, I think they have this pressure to please or to do better, to do the best, so that the parents they play for the praise of their parents and not really for the love of the game sometimes. So I just say to them, like, just be a fan of your kids.
That's cool. That's great advice.
Yeah.
That's sick. I want to talk about the career as a police officer for a little bit. Talk about that decision and going into that field of work, and how do you like working here in the HRM?
Well, I grew up in Montreal, and I don't think I want to do that job there.
Yeah. Why not?
I know a lot of people. I don't really. I don't know. I think it'd be crazy to work there. I'm not that it's safer here. I'm not saying that. It's really busy here. But growing up, when you're a kid, there's things you think about doing. Like, my brother was playing the NHL. Me was being a police officer. My best friend's father was a cop, so I used to be just, when I'd see him, I'd be so, like, shocked just looking at him. I've always been a fan of policing. I want to do this forever. And when I played the World Cup, I went for a drive with Donnie Spicer. He was I don't know if he was an inspector at the time, but when the World Cup was happening, a lot of police officers were in charge of different teams to drive them back and forth from the rink to their hotels.
Wait, what do you mean? Like in the car, in the police car?
No, they had vehicles for the World Cup. They had red vans.
Okay.
And they would pick us up for the
and the police officers would drive you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started asking questions, because Quebec it's a little bit different when you want to go into policing than it is anywhere else in Canada.
Why is it different?
Just the schooling ways. So in Quebec, you have to have higher marks to get accepted in police technique.
Really?
You do that for 2 years, and then you go to the school for 6 months.
Okay.
Here, you can all you need is your high school diploma, and you can apply to go into PI or the Mounties or any place in Ontario, like the Ontario Police College.
Okay.
Or, like I said, PI, or we added the in-house class with Halifax Rural Police. Okay. So when he told me that it was going to be an in-house class, I said, oh, okay, so what do you need for that? Do you need your high school? I'm like, oh. Because, when you play hockey and junior hockey, you could get some courses done. I wasn't a big fan of doing a lot of distance courses.
Yeah.
So I didn't apply myself to schooling. So I graduated high school, and I didn't really try further much in schooling.
Like a lot of people. Yeah.
So I didn't know what I was going to do, if I was going to keep playing hockey but this opportunity came here. So I'm like, I got to jump on it. So it worked out well for me.
That's good.
And like I said, it's like hockey for me. It's a team thing. You try to get better at what you do with the job. You learn from people that have experience, and you try not to do the same mistake twice. So, because everybody makes a mistake in policing, it happens. But again, you try to do it as least as possible because of the type of job you do. But I love this job. I'll tell anybody that's new, I love this job. It's my dream job, and I can't expect to do anything else. I love it.
That's awesome.
It also made me experience so many different things, like 2 UN tours in Haiti. I worked in the section. I worked in sexual assault, which was kind of messed up because you don't want to deal with all the adult case and the children
like
case,
pedophiles
and all that stuff. So it sucks. That was a tough part of my career. And then I went back to Haiti after that. And again, I worked in the same section of that in Haiti.
Yeah.
The same crimes against children, kidnappings, and stuff like that. So, that's a different breed over there. Like, it's different area. That's a different subject altogether there.
Does that change you as a person, or does it make you grow as a person?
Well, it makes you grow because you tend to realize, don't take life for granted. You don't know how lucky you have it to live in Canada when you see how things are run in different countries.
Yeah.
And my parents are from Haiti, so...
I didn't know that. When did your parents move to Montreal? How old were they?
I think they was in the 70s, 74.
Okay.
They came through, I think they immigrated through schooling, and they ended up having jobs as soon as they moved here. So
wow.
Yeah,
that's kind of a full circle type thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. Like, it's like my mom was always against me going to Haiti. She was like, you should go. It's kind of crazy over there, and it's really dangerous. And if they know your name, they may attack you because of who you are. Did your brother go with you? No, he went on his own through his World Vision. He was raising money to build a hospital for children over there, and he did. Yeah, which is kind of cool. I get to visit it, and it was kind of cool to watch.
Sick.
But he went down there with PK as well, with other players and Pamela Anderson and stuff like that. So he was down when I was down with my first mission, and I was the northern part of Haiti, so I wouldn't have been able to see them. But he went to a restaurant and somebody called me, goes, "Hey, just a sec, I'll get somebody to talk to you." And it was my brother. I'm like, "You're in Haiti?" It's like, "Why didn't you tell me? I would have tried to meet you down there. What is wrong?" "Oh, I didn't know." Like, "What do you mean you didn't know? Just tell me." Like, anyways, that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Oh, that's funny.
Haiti was completely crazy. You think I've experienced so many crazy things down there, like people shooting at me, rocks being thrown at me, being swarmed, being caught in the crowd, like almost shooting someone. Like, it was just insane. It was completely crazy from beginning to the end of the mission. And I mean, it's great experience. I'd go again tomorrow. The hardest part, again, is being away from your family. But at the same time, it's quite an experience.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Never been to that part of the world, but it sounds life changing.
It's sad because, I mean, you look at Dominican Republic, everybody vacations there, right?
Same with Cuba.
The same island.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the same island. So there is one resort that's nice in Haiti. They renovated, and it's really nice. I stayed there for a bit. But I wish the whole country would do better. It's such a beautiful country.
It is.
But I don't know the government or...
What are some things that they're lacking in resources? Like, is it a food? Is it a plumbing thing? Is it an education?
It's full-blown security. It is the order. There's too many riots. I don't find the police officers are paid well enough there.
Are they trained well enough?
Yes.
They're just not paid
They
well.
know how to work.
Yeah.
I think they should be paid more.
Okay.
That takes... If you get paid more, you get to have vehicle to travel in. You have to get a nicer home. You don't have to live amongst people you deal with. A lot of police officers in the main town don't live where they work because of that. They know they're going to get attacked. They have to go home to get changed in civilian clothing. They don't tell people the police because they know they get attacked. So they're targets there.
They're trying to do the right thing, but yet they're targets. So it sounds corrupt a little.
Well, they're targets for either they want to kill them, take their guns, or they want to kind of control them with money. Right, so it sucks. It sucks, and there's a lot of great people. I worked alongside with them. I've given them training and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to be involved. But again, it's just it's a country need, but it needs to fix itself.
Yeah,
gotta stop taking from others to try to help each other, like themselves. They need to fix themselves. I don't know how it's gonna happen.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we're at an hour here. I appreciate you coming on, man. That was great. Some great stories that you told here. That was awesome. We got to get your brother on here.
Yeah,
I'm sure he has great stories too.
I'll definitely let him know for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, I guess that's great. The last minute is yours. If you want to say hi to family, friends, thank anyone out there that's helped your career or anything, go ahead. Last minute's yours.
Wow. Well, I have to say thanks to this career opened doors for me and ended up making me meet my wife, have my kids. So I always take my wife because she has to deal with me, and then she gave me those 3 beautiful girls, and they're awesome. I'll give a little shout out to my daughter, my oldest daughter, and the team, soccer team. They won the last 2 soccer games of their season. It was a tough season for them.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and then my daughters, my twins, they play the same levels, and I ended up coaching that year and the year before. So it's cool to be part of that. And again, as far as hockey goes, Sean McKenzie, for me, it was one of the greatest person I've ever had the pleasure of being coached by and to know. And to this day, we're still friends. And to play with some amazing guys over the years, guys that I still get in contact with. I just recently started talking to Mike Couch again. It was nice to talk to him the other day. And we'll be talking again. We haven't talked since pretty much the Mooseheads days. So Robbie's back here, Benedict's back here. And it's all the guys that I want to see more often. And like I said, I'm hoping to play another game against Team Lebanon this year. My brother's supposed to organize that
in
again.
Montreal. Yeah,
in Montreal. Yeah. So this time I'll try to be in a better shape and lay the body again. They want to play contact. I don't know why, but let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Well, thanks for having me. That's always awesome.
It was my pleasure to have you, man. You're welcome back anytime.
Perfect.
All right, everyone listening, thank you very much for all the support. Go to all of our social media outlets, like, subscribe, comment. We're out, guys. Peace.